What is the difference between the 4 different types of unemployment? Unemployment is divided into 4 sections. The first section is frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment occurs when someone enters the labor force and switches jobs. Frictional unemployment. I just got a new job offer and I start in 2 weeks. Until then, I'm broke. Unemployment reoccurs periodically according to each time of the year. For example, I'm going to start working at Amazon during their busiest time of the year for the Halloween through Christmas season. Come January, I'll probably be laid off. Structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is caused by a mismatch between a person's human capital and that needed in the workplace. This mismatch is caused by evolving structure of the economy as some industries rise and others fall. It can also be caused by a minimum wage or other structural rigidities that inhibit job creation or the movement of workers into new jobs.
I lost my job as a gas server at a gas station due to people being able to pump their own gas.
The last type of unemployment is cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment results from a downturn in the business cycle and affects workers simultaneously in many different industries.
My boss right now. Boss, say hi to the camera.
Jimmy, you're fired.
Found out the reason I got fired last year was not because I was making a video of my boss. It's because they had to cut down on spending. Or at least that's what they told me.
What is a discouraged worker? A discouraged worker is people who would like to have a job but have given up looking. Not counted as employed because they are not included in the labor force. But the presence of discouraged workers would cause the reported unemployment rate to understate true unemployment because discouraged workers are not in the labor force. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Oh, hi. I'm a discouraged worker. I want to have a job, but I just give up looking. Who is counted in the labor force and who is not? The labor group is divided into 2 groups consisting of the unemployed and the employed. The unemployed are people who are looking for jobs and who currently do not work. The employed are people who do work and work for money.
Hey, I'm a construction worker, obviously. And I work for money. Yeah.
Maybe this one. Just having such a hard time looking for a job. Oh, maybe that one. Oh, hi. I'm Isabel. Right now I'm currently unemployed, but I'm seeking a job, as you can obviously see.
Well, my question was how to calculate unemployment rate. And to be able to calculate it, you're going to have to get the number of people that are unemployed divided by labor force times 100. For example, let's say a number of people is 7.7 million and 148.2 million are civilian force. What you have to do is 7.7 divided by 148.2 equals 0.052. Then what you're going to do is 0.052 times 100 equals 5.2. Therefore, the unemployment rate is 5.2. Yeah. A contraction is a phase of business cycle in which the economy as a whole is declined. To be more specific, contraction occurs after the business cycle peaks but before it becomes a drought. And expansionary policy is a macroeconomic policy that seeks to expand the money supply to encourage economic growth or combat prices. Nominal means very small or far below the real value or cost, and in finance this adjective modifies words such as fee, interest rate, and gross domestic product. And the real GDP, the real gross domestic product, is an inflation adjusted measure that reflects the value of all goods and services produced by the economy in a given year, expressed in base year price, and is often referred to as constant price.
What are the problems with using GDP as a proxy for standard living for our nation? In our nation, like, what's the problem? Well, I want to give you the what GDP really means. What GDP means actually, it means the total dollar of rule of all final goods and services produced in a nation in a single year. So you all are wondering, wait, okay. So the GDP is what you do, your work, and GDP counts all the things you did at work, but it doesn't count household work. What do you mean? And you're asking, what do you mean by household work? I mean, like if you were babysitting, they wouldn't count that in the GDP. If you were mowing someone's lawn, they wouldn't count that in the GDP. If you were cleaning someone's bathroom, they wouldn't count that as a GDP. And so that's the issue with the use of GDP in our nation. What is a market basket, and how is it calculated? A market basket is a representation of goods and services used to compile the consumer price index, and the calculation for market basket is that, I'll give you an example. Let's just say 2004 was $2.30, and 2006 it was $2.65. Now you have to how this is calculated is that you have to subtract the past year 2004 with the new year 2006, and it'll give you an answer that says 0.35 cents. And then you move the dot twice, as we all know, which creates 35%. And so we can say that it rose 35%. The prices rose 35% to become $2.65, and that is how you calculate the market basket. So in 2004, this book, for example, would cost $2.30, right? But then the next year, this book would start to cost about $2.65. Now, if you subtract those two numbers, this book, from its price from last year to the new year, has increased by 35%. So the question is, what is the CPI and how is it calculated? The CPI measures the increase in the price of the market basket between the current and base period. And the CPI calculation is that, so CPI, its calculation, how they calculate it is CPI is calculated, it's equivalent to the cost of the market basket at current prices over the cost of market basket at base period prices, and it's also multiplied by 100. So, yeah. Okay.
Inflationary rate calculator. Inflation rate is calculated by change in price index over initial price index times 100. For example, inflation rate in 1999 equals 3.6 over 163.0 times 100 equals 0.22 times 100 equals 2.2%. That's it. Plus G plus I plus NX. Y equals GDP. C equals consumer. G equals government spending. I equals investment. NX equals export imports. C, consumption spending equals money being spent on necessities. Investing and spending money in order to increase output or productivity later in the future. Government purchasing equals purchasing and investment should be distinguished from government transfer payments. NX equals exports minus imports. Okay, that's it.